Hello, YouTube. Lyricist17 here, but you can just call me Travis, and welcome back for another collection update. Is this the first one? No, the second one? I don't know. I can't remember now. It's got to be the first one of the year. What's the date today? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about some music. I got a lot to talk about here, and we're all over the map in terms of genre. So let's jump in here quick, so this video isn't super long because it's already going to be long. All right. In the background, we're listening to, just picked this up recently, pumped about it, Road to Hell from Iron Curtain, speed metal out of Spain, awesome stuff. Alright, a couple records, mostly CDs as per usual. Start off with the record. This thought it would be a good one to show this off, since I already named it an honorable mention for top EPs of 2017 before I even heard it. Was not wrong. This is the self-titled EP from Perverted Ceremony. Check this album cover out. This is some good stuff. Plus that logo. Yeah, 3 tracks. Two on the A side, the intro, and then one on the other side. It's like 12-13 minutes. It's a full 12-inch EP though. Here's the back with our pictures of our two guys, Barren Cemetery and Morbid Messiah. Went for the hardcore version because ridiculous. Comes on this cool green color. And also the hardcore version or whatever came with a sticker and a patch. So yeah, cool stuff. Glad to get those. Get that. Yeah, music's just like along the same lines as Sabbath. You know, grindy riffs with insane, chaotic, high-pitched wailing leads over the top, guttural vocals and all that jazz. Just raunchy, rotten stuff. If you like Perverted Ceremony, get that shit because you'll love it. Alright, next up, this is the first release of 2018, and since it's the only one, it's already on the list. But this is the new one from Shining, 10, and then Swedish words, Varg, Utan, Flock, which I believe I translated to English as like wolf without a pack or whatever. I had a kind of funny experience with this album, and it'll teach me some lessons that I can share with you. So I purchased this through Bandcamp, and so I got the digital tracks Friday afternoon when I got home from work. I downloaded it, and man, I was really thrown off by this album initially. Like the first 2 songs didn't have black metal in them at all. And then the third song, which was like 9.5 minutes, like the black metal didn't even come in until like 6 minutes into the song or something. I calculated it was like 829 seconds until there was black metal. And I was like, what the hell's going on with this album? Is like Kvarforth like trolling us or something? Like, you know, it really threw me off the album. It kind of made me it really difficult for me to like get into it. I kind of liked the what's the word I want? Like the gutsiness to try something new, because, you know, if you're familiar with Shining at all, I would say, you know, everything since about 5 has kind of had a similar sound, you know, that kind of progressive-y black metal, maybe sort of a black metal version of Opeth, maybe. Just kind of, you know, progressive-y, somber parts, acoustic parts, but, you know, still has that black metal edge and, you know, aggressiveness as well. But anyway, I was just like, man, what's going on? Like, it's like not until the 3rd track that I even get metal. And then I got the CD in the mail on Saturday, and I was, you know, just kind of, you know, looking at the physical product, and I was like, wait a minute now, because the first 2 songs on the album were the 2 songs that were in English. You know, that was not something that is surprising. You know, Shining has always kind of mixed Swedish titles and English titles together, so that wasn't anything that stood out to me. And anyway, so I was looking at the back of the CD, and it's like, well, that's weird. Those songs aren't even listed at all on here. And then I kind of had realized that one of the songs that I had liked more, just based on title, like, I don't know, Jag R, you know, that song, was like one of the first songs. And I was like, wait a minute, that's like one of the last songs on the album or whatever. And so I got looking at it, and somehow the version I had been listening to was in reverse order, and the actual 2 first songs that I was listening to that didn't have metal at all were actually bonus tracks. So I was like just listening to this album way wrong, and I was just like, it like blew my mind. I was like, oh, wait a minute, okay. So I had to kind of like cleanse my palette, put the songs in the right order, and then listen to them without the bonus tracks. And it was amazing, like, how much different the album was to me. Immediately, it was like right up there in quality with the other releases. This time we got black metal within 9 seconds. It made me really realize how much song order for an album like significantly matters, because the way I was listening to it the first time totally was like souring me on the album. Like, I wanted to like it because I like Shining a lot, but you know, it was like kind of I was really feeling blah about it. But man, listening to it in the correct order immediately felt different. The piano track, it's like the second to last song on the album, actually is a nice little interlude into the final track, which is that one I spoke to you about earlier, which has the metal coming in at the 6-minute mark. That one just like it kind of like was given its epicness, if you will. I don't know, just it was amazing how much listening to this in the correct order was just like a totally different experience for me. So yeah, if you like Shining, you're gonna like this album a lot. You know, same old. You know, they're not doing much different than they've been doing. But if you're okay with that, then you'll be okay with this. Yeah, you know, nothing's different. You got the same, you know, black metal viciousness. Got those kind of high-pitched accompaniments on the guitars that works really well. You know, Nicholas Kvarvar's going crazy on the vocals as always. His over-the-top theatrical stuff I like it. It's cool. Out for Season to Miss kind of thing. Is there anything else I really want to say about this? Yeah. Also, my experience speaks to the awesomeness of physical media. Because had I just downloaded the album off, you know, torrent or whatever, and not listened to the CD, I've never got the physical, I would have been always listening to it out of order for like my life. So there's a shout out to physical media, and yeah, just, you know, like I said, if you like Shining, listen to this, you'll like it. Next one up, this one's kind of fun. This is Krampusnacht. This album cover is really cool. I came across this on Bandcamp, and immediately it was like, whoa, what is that artwork? That's rad. And then I saw the title of the band was Krampusnacht, so I was like, okay, so it's like Krampus, what's up with this? So I clicked on it, and it's like dungeon synth, which is awesome. Guys out of Greenland, first Greenland artist I've ever supported, so that's cool. But yeah, it's pretty much just like I said, it's dungeon synth mixed with it's kind of got some you know, Christmas tunes or Xmas tunes, kind of, you know, it's dungeon synth with that fused with it. I saw on his Facebook page that he was trying to reappropriate the music back to the pagans or whatever. So that's kind of for whatever. Released through Goblin Terror, which never heard of. Actually, was the first person to add them to Discogs when I added this CD version. But yeah, you know, nothing super crazy. But you know, if you enjoy some dungeon synth with some flair, maybe check those out. It was super. It was pretty cheap actually, so pretty cool. This did not come from Santa Claus, even though he talked about it in that video. But I found this for a really, really reasonable price, so I had to jump at it. Midnight Priest with their album. It's in Portuguese, Rainha, Magia, Negra, which I think it's something like black magic. Should have looked it up, but it didn't. This is the if you've been following me, I picked up some of their albums recently. A release through Storm Spell Records, number 39 of 1000. Yep, just like the other ones, traditional heavy metal. I think I like this one a little bit less. I think there's sort of a the band's hurt by the production quality is not as good, maybe. But regardless, still some solid riffing, some solid soloing. Vocals are pretty good. This came out in 2009. It says it's an EP. It's like 28 minutes though, so it could almost be an album. But regardless, it's listed as an EP. Yeah, I'm interested to see if these guys are doing anything new. They released an album in 2011, and then another one in 2015, that was the first one I picked up. But I'm not really sure what these guys are doing. Hopefully they'll be releasing something soon. I would like them to get back with Stormspell, but I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah, anyway, if you're into heavy metal, maybe check these guys out. Midnight Priest. Alright. This one's kind of fun too. If you watched Life Eternal, you saw that I sent him a copy of this too because he's really into Sasquatch, and I thought the release was pretty solid. This is Thrashquatch with Rager at the Lake. Don't let the image fool you. Yes, these guys are having fun, and yeah, maybe these guys could be labeled in the retro thrash group that a lot of people have disdain for, which I personally have no problem with. But yeah, like it sounds, it's thrash. Actually, the riffing is actually really decent. The solid soloing. Actually, the vocals are pretty great too. I had this on my Bandcamp wish list for a really long time, and just for whatever reason, I just didn't pull the trigger. And finally decided, you know what, I need to support. Only $8, free shipping. So what the hell? My favorite title, Not Extinct, just hard to find. That's a good one. But yeah, if you're listening to something, just for some fun thrash, these guys right up your alley. Thrashquatch, Rager at the Lake. I'm actually running through these really fast, which is kind of cool. Maybe this video won't be so long. Alright, next up, if you're new to me, you maybe don't know this, but if you've been following me for a while, I've been slowly working through the post-Aussie era Black Sabbath. This is the next one up on the list, as I'm going chronologically. This is The Eternal Idol. This is the first. Sidebar. I really like the fact that this disc reminded me all of my. This looks like all of my Aussie era Black Sabbath CDs, except for this one's white. Gotta be somewhere right here. Ooh. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, see, all my CDs look just like that, but they're silver. Anyway, I thought that was a fun little surprise, or I don't even know what a surprise. I liked it. Anyway, back to this. First album to feature Tony Martin on vocals. I don't think anyone else who's a mainstay in the band is. That's okay. I'll talk about that in a second. That's fucking crazy. Actually, yeah, Jeff Nichols on keyboards. Actually, he's really, more than I realized, as a long-time member of the band, as he essentially joined on Heaven and Hell and played up through one of their albums in the mid '90s, which was the last one for a long time. But yeah, so just Tony. This one has a really released in '87. Yeah, '87 has a really just like an '80s feel. Definitely has that sort of a glam influence on it, I think. Some of these songs I like a lot. Glory Ride's pretty cool. I don't like this one as much as some of the last couple ones I've listened to. It's pretty good, but just maybe as a whole isn't as strong. But it's cool. Not disappointed really. Happy to get it, and I'll listen to it. And I'll just continue on with the Black Sabbath, as it's been kind of fun to realize that they're kind of more of a almost traditional heavy metal band than they are a doom metal band. But regardless, Eternal Idol, pretty cool pickup. And one thing I just noticed now that's really kind of crazy is that one of the producers, and then who it was mixed by, is this guy named Chris Tsangarides. I'm sorry if I butchered that name, which I just saw that he died. I wasn't a name that I was familiar with, but obviously he's a guy who I read briefly about him for like 1 second. Was very important in mixing and producing and recording and engineering and all that kind of stuff. Heavy metal bands in the 80s and maybe 90s too. So yeah, rest in peace to that guy. Kind of crazy to just randomly see his name on the back of. If I don't know if I can get it so you can see his name right there. So yeah, rest in peace to that guy. Alright, next one up. This one's kind of fun. I had maybe heard this band's name before, but never had really, thought about them. Saw them shown by Vert, who, if you're not following them, you should. And immediately the album cover spoke to me. And, he spoke about it. I think he even said, "Metalheads, check this out." So I did. And this is Maggot Brain by Funkadelic. This is a band, if you're in the know, which I wasn't, is one of the bands that George Clinton was doing in the 70s. This came out in 1971 on Westbound, something like that, Westbound Recordings. Yeah, man, I put on the first track, which is the title track. Fuck, that song is, amazing. It's pretty much just Eddie Hazel on guitar, just ripping it up. Man, that is a good track. It sounds like everyone already knows about the song, and I'm in the dark about it, but that was my first time. It's 11 minutes long, and man, that song is just amazing. Wow. I was immediately ordered it. I didn't even care what the rest of the album sounded like. It could be crap, didn't care. But that song alone was worth owning this release. Here's the back, which is kind of fun. Kind of comes in this gatefold release. I don't know if this is what I should have looked, but this maybe is what the record looks like with the slide out. See, I don't know if they were supposed to be liner note booklet or not, but this one didn't have it. Lots of credits that I can't read because they're so friggin' small. But yeah, wow. That first song just blows my mind. After that, I liked it. Particularly, I really like the songs Hit It and Quit It, Super Stupid. Those ones were really good. Yeah, just, if no one had really told me what I was listening to and just put this on, I would have called it, progressive rock, I suppose, with kind of just more of a upbeat rock nature to it. I guess it's funk. It's not a genre that I've really spent any time with, so I can't speak about it with any intelligence, but I'm definitely going to keep up, checking out this band. I am a little worried because after this album, pretty much everyone except for George Clinton left. This specifically worries me because the two songs that I like the most definitely are Maggot Brain, the song that's amazing, and Super Stupid, which both have Eddie Hazel songwriting credits on it, and I don't know, just his guitar playing is what made me want to check this out, so it kind of worries me that he's no longer in the group. But there's a few albums that came out before this one, so I'll probably look to those first. It looks like he's maybe involved with Parliament, which is the other band that George Clinton's doing around this time. So I don't know, maybe I'll check that band out too. As always, the never-ending stream of great music to check out is ever flowing. But yeah, super pumped up to get this release because, man, I can't. If you've never listened to Maggot, if you're dumb like me and you've never listened to Maggot Brain, check out that song. Awesome stuff. Maggot Brain, Funkadelic, cool stuff. All right, last one up, another record. This came out, 2015, I think. It's actually a mixtape, but I guess mixtapes come out in physical format too, which is cool because I wanted it. I've been listening to this tour for a while, but finally decided to pull the trigger. Actually, I was watching Sir Meatwad and Coltland, who I'm new to. We're doing a gift exchange. And they released a video, and they got into some inside joke thing about Future, the rapper Future, which I didn't understand. But anyway, for whatever reason, because this is how ridiculous I am in terms of impulse buying, I was I need to pick up that album. So yeah, it's this one. This is What a Time to Be Alive by Drake and Future. If you're not familiar with either of those artists, they are rappers. Drake from Canada, Future from the United States. I think he's from California. Future, if you're not familiar with him, is super heavily auto-tuned on his rapping, which I kind of like actually. But yeah, super cool stuff. In particular, the tracks Big Rings and Jumpman. In particular, Big Rings. I really love that. In particular, if you don't follow me, unfortunately, one of the things I like in a lot of my rap is just banging beats, and this one has a lot of Metro Boomin on it, who is one of the tops in the game right now. He's great. There's some stuff from Southside who I like too. I think there's a track from Boy Wonder. I think somewhere on here. Also Frank Dukes, I like him too. But Metro Boomin's all over it. He's sharing production with a lot of those same names I just mentioned. But yeah, overall, just kind of a solid, okay release. Not one of my favorites or anything, but just something that I wanted to add to the collection. Only available on vinyl, unfortunately, which was on CD. But I'll take the vinyl release. I think it's only on black. Yeah, it's still black. About that. I thought I had cleared enough space on my phone, but clearly I have not. Alright, so like I was saying, not really much to add actually. Drinking Future, if you're into like poppy rap with like banging beats and stuff, this one, What a Time to Be Alive, is right up your alley. Like I said, that's it. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you're familiar with any of those releases, let me know what you think down here in the comments. Chat with me about music. Yeah, if you haven't already, I should have said this at the beginning of the video. If you haven't already, check out my top 30 10 to 1 video and enter my contest to win my top 5 releases of 2017. Yep, just gotta tell me what solo you like and yeah, win some free stuff. Like I said, let me know what you think of these releases if you're familiar with them. And yeah, have a great day.